So, a lot of people call writers that don't make a plot diagram for quote unquote pantsers, and they say that they write by the seat of their pants, and that's nonsense and crazy. I write by God's hand. God possesses my hand, and I write. It comes from my heart. I let writing flow from my heart. When I don't have anything, I sit at my computer and make a playlist for my novel and listen to those songs and think about what those characters are like. So I started plotting my novel when I got to page 182. So I decided God could guide my hand in plotting my novel too. And so I tried to get into each character's head. I have a character named Rose. I have a character named Elena. And Rose is this artistic elf, and Elena is a sad elf who thinks she'll never find her soulmate, and she plays flute, guitar, and oboe. And then I have these characters, Shay, Abigail, and Aurelia, who are twin sisters who used to be tigers, and her mom, Hannah Amelia, and how she saves this suicidal girl and helps her find herself. And the girl, the suicidal girl, she walks along the beach all the time looking for seashells and works at a clothes store in the summer. And it's also my memoir. I put memories that I have from long before I could even remember existing. And so your first story is supposed to be the story of your life. But I figured just one day I was walking home, gazing at the stars, thinking, well, I have to write my story before I can write any other story. I have to get it all out on paper. And after that, I can outline stories that are completely fictional. And the story right now is half fiction, half nonfiction. Well, here's a truth I'm telling you. All fiction is nonfiction. Because when you write, it comes from your heart. And a lot of it is your story, your truth, shining through in fictional characters. Yeah, so it's not all of it really happens, but it comes from your soul. The things that are in your characters, they're in you. Otherwise, you couldn't make them. So get in their head and find out the different parts of it. Like if you had multiple personality, if you had multiple personality disorder, what characters would take over your mind? It's not really a disease. It's a gift because it helps you write. You get in the head of those characters and give them names and write things about them, the things they do, the things they love to do. And I decided that would help me, that I'd go ahead and work on plotting my characters. I wrote a paragraph about each character, what they would do, what they would say, and eventually I came up with some poetry that I could put into my novel. That's what I like about plotting, is eventually I'll start writing my novel and my plot. And that's why it works for me and doesn't work for me, because if I'm writing on a piece of paper, I have so much I have to type it all up. So originally, I wanted to write the whole novel in a notebook before I typed it up, but that didn't work for me either. I think I'll do that for my third novel, because I'm working on Beautiful Madness now. My next one is Hunger, because I dreamed about a book called Hunger, like I said in my last video. I don't know what I'm going to call my third novel, but in that one, I plan on writing the whole thing in pen and ink in a notebook, and later read it and type the whole thing up. Because some writers do it that way, and I think that's a beautiful thing, a beautiful way to write, and I really want to try that method of writing. So there are 3 ways to write. Just open your computer, stare at the blank page, don't let the blank page be an enemy, and just write from your heart. It's hard to come up with a plot when you just write from your heart, but eventually you'll have a plot. Go back and make scenes. Instead of just telling what happens, show what happens. It can be telling is 1 paragraph, showing is 2 pages. So, yeah, when you go back, look at the telling, turn that into a scene. So, yeah, those are some tips that I have for you. I'm sure there are other ways to write, but yeah, I'm going to buy myself a notebook and work on another novel, because I have a dystopian novel started, but it's like 4 pages, and I don't really like it at all, because it's not how the world is, and I don't like writing dystopian novels, because reading dystopian novels really scares me, and so why would I write something that scares me? So, yeah. But in the novel Hunger, the main character's name is Misty, Mystie. I have 2 pages written on that one, and I'm on page 190 of Beautiful Madness. One of the things I wrote in Madness is brilliant. There's no such thing as mental illness. Depression, sadness, bipolar, having this wonderful burst of energy with joy and happiness is not crazy. Having the sadness can teach you things. And hearing voices from demons, and it's not crazy. It's real, and it can teach you how to fight evil. It can teach you how to preach. It can teach you how to love. There's so much in the mind that's so different. Autism is not the only non-neurotypical mind. Seeing things in colors or synesthesia, that's not autism. That is not neurotypical. I hate the word neurotypical because I'm not, and it doesn't matter because it's just a silly word. Just like spectrum is a silly word because it's saying people who have Asperger's aren't really autistic. Anyways, I kind of rambled off on a different topic for a while, but yeah, just write from your heart. If that doesn't work, make a plot. If that doesn't work, get a notebook, write everything down in your notebook. When you're done, when you have like 200 to 500 pages in a notebook, type it all up, and as you're typing it up, you'll find yourself adding more scenes, changing some scenes, leaving some out. Because when I was in this psych where I was writing down my novel, and I lost it, but then I wrote another, like 3 pages of a story. I put it in my novel, I took some of it out. So that's what you could do if you're writing in a notebook. Just write it all down when you're it's not really editing, it's the second phase. You write it down, you add some scenes, delete some scenes, change the wording, make it more poetic. Just go for it. That's all I have to say. If you want to be a writer, go for it. Force yourself to write every day. Focus on your novel when you're not writing. So, for example, I do gymnastics. I pick a song. I think about, well, what songs would my characters like? What songs would motivate my characters? So I put that song on, I do my gymnastics. Then I go back to my computer when the song ends. And think, well, what's another song? Say what song would speak to Rose? What song would speak to Elena? What song would speak to the Tiger twins? They're not really tigers. They were tigers. They're not tigers anymore. So think of what soul would feel. Do your sport, exercise. If you don't have a sport, just exercise. Say do 50 push-ups, do some sit-ups, V-ups, tuck jumps, jumping jacks. Go for a run with your iPod in your ears and listen to music. Maybe you have an iPod that's really, really powerful and you can make a playlist on it. And so put your novel playlist on your iPod and go for a run, and you'll be thinking about your novel the whole run. And when you get back, you'll be really, 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 really inspired by your run. And stretch a little bit, then open your computer or your notebook, however you're doing it, and write down your ideas that you got when you were running. That's it for now. Bye.